Greetings to all Rastas, Israelites scattered among the heathens, Judah scattered into the four corners of the earth, and all God-fearing people, I greet you. Now, what I would like to explain is that when I say Rastas, Rasta has a literal meaning, and it means the child, and is referring to the inheritor of Jah's kingdom. So when I say Rastas, I'm speaking about the inheritors of Jah's or Yah's kingdom. So greetings to all Rastas, greetings to all the inheritors of Jah's kingdom. Anyway, the subject today is Ezekiel 38. It has to do with the GOG and MAGOG prophecy. Now what I want to do today is to show that Ezekiel 38 and Revelation 20 is concerning GOG and MAGOG is the one and same. Is to show that this prophecy that is written of in Ezekiel chapter 38 is not a prophecy to be fulfilled in the near future. But right now, they are using this prophecy to sell the Third World War. They are using this prophecy, the GOG and MAGOG prophecy, to sell the Third World War, talking about Russia and the other nations supposed to be attacking Israel. Only recently I heard them talking about Israel making a strike on Iran. That would be contrary to the prophecy, wouldn't it? If Israel is going to strike Iran, it will not be as this prophecy states here. But what I want to do is show that this prophecy that is given by Ezekiel is the very prophecy that John prophesied in Revelation 20 in its fullness, showing how it was fulfilled, because he saw it all. But here, Ezekiel gives us a prophecy concerning that end time. Ezekiel 38, it says, "And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against God, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus says the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks in thy jaw, and bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers, and shield, all of them handling swords." And here they're naming some of the participants of this action here that will join GOG and MAGOG. This is verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Now, the prophecy went on, as we read here in verse 8. It says, "After many days thou shalt be visited, and in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, and against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them." Now, this is talking about after we are regathered in the land of Israel, that God, it can come into his mind. But how is this going to come into his mind? Let's look at Revelation 20, verse 8. And we will see how that came into his mind. Revelation 20, verse 8. It says, let's read from verse 7 first, because it tells you, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison, because Satan will be bound for 1,000 years, so that he cannot deceive the nations anymore until the 1,000 years are fulfilled. And I said that, and he must be let loose a little season. And here to tell you what he's going to do in verse 8, after he's let loose. And shall go out, he, Satan, to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, GOG and MAGOG, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And I'm going to show it to you that this is the very prophecy in Ezekiel, because in verse 9 of the prophecy in Ezekiel, it is said, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, talking about God. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. So here, in verse 20, they describe as, so the number of whom is as the sand of the sea, talking about this great company, GOG, MAGOG, and the band, all of them that are within. Verse 9 again. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee. But remember that this is Satan who is deceiving them. See? Satan is who's let loose after being bound for 1,000 years. Let loose. And he went out now deceiving. He went out and gathered GOG and MAGOG, and this great company, to come to do battle against us. We're back in the land because we've been redeemed and restored in the land. And we're dwelling in the land supposed to be in safety. But he's been stirred up by the devil, and he come up against us. In verse 20, chapter 20, verse 9, it says, and they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about, and the beloved city. You see, when they come up, we have some nations here who did not join them. Here in Ezekiel 38, verse 13, it says, Sheba and Dedan, and the merchants of Tarshish, with all the young lions thereof, shall say unto thee, art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered much company to take a prey, to carry away silver and gold, and to take away cattle and goods, to take a great spoil? They wouldn't join him, because remember, these are nations that survived after Christ came and redeemed us. These are nations that he allowed to belong for a little season. But out of them, you have a great company shall gather behind GOG and MAGOG, and they shall come up to do battle with us. I'll continue this in the next video.